Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Tuesday video report. Game number 2 of the Toronto-Washington series coming up tonight. Now, prior to that series, here in the video, I told you to go ahead and ride Washington as the big series underdog, and the Wizards, of course, stole the home court advantage by winning game number 1 in overtime. I'm going to break down game number 2 for you in just a moment, plus give you a free baseball selection as well. Now, yesterday, I put myself on the line, even though I haven't been doing well. I just loved one particular baseball game, and I watched the Tigers deliver 2-1, rallying for the win at home last night against the Yankees, and it happened to be the charity play of the week, which cashed in for the 7th time in 9 weeks. And now, on a quid pro quo basis, it's your turn to do good for somebody else, because the charity play won. You got it for free, so I'm asking you now to make a donation. You know, when I created the charity play of the week program 3.5 years ago, I never realized how, I guess the word would be, emotionally involved that I would personally get into it. Because you got to realize, guys, when I find these individuals, and often we're dealing with tragic situations here, okay? When I go out and find them, it's me that's spending an hour or two going through different campaigns, reading about all these people that need help, and trying to find those that I can present their case here on the site and ask you to help out. And it also affects me in a personal way as well. I'll be honest with you, the last 4 weeks have been very difficult. 4 weeks ago today happened to be the 4-year anniversary of my own father passing away from cancer. And on this exact same day, 4 weeks ago, my wife found out that her only remaining immediate family member, her sister, who's never been sick in her entire life, always been healthy, will do anything for anyone, found out that a lump in her leg was a very rare type of cancer called a synovial sarcoma. Only 2 to 3 people out of a million get this, and most of them on an annual basis, and most of them are younger. And then, to make matters worse, in the past few weeks, we found out it was stage 4. It had spread to her lungs, and yesterday she started her first chemotherapy treatment. There is no cure. They can hope for remission, but it's a type of cancer that comes back all the time, and they can just hope to hopefully maintain it. And after being with my wife when her father passed away after a 13-year battle with esophageal cancer, after she was there for my father after his 3.5-year battle with sinus cancer, I can honestly say that, listen, obviously the person that has that dreaded disease is the most affected. We know that. That goes without saying. But unless you've been in that situation, you don't realize the toll that it takes emotionally, mentally, physically on all the immediate family members, because it is a disease that has to be attacked with everybody's involvement. So when I do these charity play of the week selections and I find one tragic situation after another, I'll tell you what, guys, there are times that I just feel like abandoning the whole damn program, because it's just a lot to deal with, and I'm the guy that's dealing with it all. And today, I'm going to again ask you to make a contribution to the family of a 9-year-old girl by the name of Hannah that I had featured 2 weeks ago, the last time the charity play won. 3.5 years this girl has been battling cancer, but it returned. It is stage 4. She is currently in hospice care at home. And if you scroll down here, if you're watching the report today on my homepage, if you scroll down underneath my video report today, you'll come to a link that will go to the contribution page. And you'll see a picture there. And if you look in the lower left-hand corner of that picture, you'll see a little triangle that you can click on. And it'll launch a couple of pictures of Hannah. And you'll come to one picture of this little 9.5-year-old girl in bed with her mother. And when you see that picture, there is no way, I feel, that you can't at least open up your wallet and give $5. That's all I'm asking. Listen, I will put another $250 like I do each and every single one of these charity plays, which there's been, 150, 200 winners here in the past 3.5 years? I mean, I will again put another $250 in the kitty and get things going. I don't expect you to do that. I'm just asking you to put $5, $10, $50, whatever you can afford to do. And I realize so many of you play offshore that you can't do it on today, perhaps, or even tomorrow. You've got to wait for your funds to come in. All I'm asking you again, though, however, is to make the contribution if and when you do get your monies collected. By the way, I also put down the Facebook page for this family in their plight. And let me just read you something, because if you're not a member of Facebook, you won't be able to read this. This is a post from her mother here back on, April 19th, so that was 2 days ago. First, she apologized for not posting so much because so much has been going on. And then she said, and I quote, "As you know, Hannah's health is failing and she will soon be in heaven. It has been a very difficult road that she and I have been down the past 3.5 years. It is utter misery to watch her deteriorate. I try to enjoy Hannah's every smile, laugh, and cuddle. Those are becoming very few and far between. Her appetite has dwindled to almost nothing. She's losing her vision, and any time she moves, she is in excruciating pain. I wish I could take it all away." These funds were originally going toward helping with expenses in terms of her care. They are now being collected in the fundraiser page set up, I believe, by one of her cousins to pay for future funeral expenses. So think about that. Make the contribution. That's all I ask. Now, as you know, whenever a charity play wins, I then give you the option to save money on a long-term package with any particular handicapper here at the site. It doesn't have to be me. You can save $125 off the purchase price of any handicapper's 30-day package by using coupon code SAVE125. SAVE125. That's $125 off the total purchase price of any handicapper's 30-day package here at the site. And you can save $50 off the purchase of any handicapper's 7-day package by using coupon code SAVE50. When I first started the program years ago, I used to make it so the package savings were only good for the handicapper that won for you for free. But about a year ago, I decided to let the choice be yours. I put it in your lap. Listen, I wouldn't buy me, considering I've only won 5 of the past 16 days. I'm just being honest with you, okay? But hey, if you happen to already be involved in a long-term package with a handicapper and you want to extend it out further, use the coupon, save the money, and if you have any instant rebates, they are applicable as well. So again, save $125 off the purchase price of any 30-day handicapper package by using coupon code SAVE125, or save $50 off the purchase price of any 7-day package by using coupon code SAVE50. Half price play of the day is going to be Matt Rivers, the very first blank check waive the rating play in the NBA playoffs in his 12 years as a charter member here of the site. And it's on the Celtics Cavaliers Game 2 contest. This is only the 9th ever NBA blank check play, period, he's had during his tenure here at the site. And in all sports, he's 27-16 with 2 pushes with these blank check plays. You can get it. Winner number 34 out of 56 overall, no matter the rating, for half price simply by using coupon code HALF, HALF. And props going out to Steve Boonan's #1 NBA crew out of New York. They are now 51-34 with 4 pushes along the way over the past 5 years after getting off to a 2-0 start here in the postseason. Both 50-dime plays, both winners. Clippers over the Spurs on Sunday. Then last night they had Chicago against Milwaukee. Today, 59 playoff winner number 3 in a row. The Wizards Raptors Game 2 side. 5-0 sweep in the NBA Finals last year. All 59 plays just like tonight's. You got the first 2 winners the past 2 days, saving $70 off the purchase price. You do so again today by using coupon code NYC29. NYC29. That'll get you the play for just $29, and all your other coupons, etc., over on the homepage. And should you have any questions, just contact customer service. Before I get to the free play tonight, kind of interesting looking at the box score for game number 2 of the Milwaukee-Chicago contest. You know, the Bulls are not the defensive stalwart that they were in previous years, but they are one hell of a rebounding team. And I don't think anybody really anticipated the impact that Pau Gasol would have on this team when they signed him during free agency last year. but he really has just made such a tremendous difference and has been such an assist to Noah along the front line. Now, it is true that Gasol is not a great defensive player, which is one of the reasons Chicago is not as strong defensively this year as they have been in past years. But the fact is, the Bucks shot 39.3% from the field in the opener, and last night they shot even worse, 35.6%. 4 for 17, Milwaukee, from three-point land last night. 4 for 16 in the first game in the series. But then you look at the discrepancy with the Bulls and the Bucks in terms of the size and the ability. Excuse me. Don't mean to get all choked up about this. But if you think I'm going to start this video report again, you're crazy. Listen, last night, the Bulls had 27 free throw attempts versus just 17 for Milwaukee. The amazing thing about last night's game, Derrick Rose had a horrific first half, right? The Bulls missed 10 free throws last night. They only shot 38.3% from the field, but they still won the game and they still managed to cover, right? Why? Because they out-rebounded them 64 to 48. They out-rebounded them in game number 1, 52 to 41. Game, set, match. You've out-rebounded your foe by 27 boards in the first two games. Now, Milwaukee's going to go back home. They're going to have all that, hey, we're going to make our last stand. It's a do-or-die game. They're not going to get any bigger. I mean, that doesn't mean that they're not going to cover, but they're not going to get any bigger. And I think Chicago sniffs blood. But let's fast forward for a moment. The Bulls' ability to hammer the boards and their depth, that's what's going to give the Cleveland Cavaliers problems. Now, let's talk about the Washington-Toronto game. As I alluded to at the top of this report, I took Washington in the series as an underdog and was quite pleased to see them go ahead and jump out to the 1-love lead by winning in overtime in game number 1. But there's another game. I look at the box score. Well, listen, the Wizards absolutely hammered Toronto on the boards in game number 1. 61 to 48 rebounding advantage. Toronto gave up 19 offensive boards in that game, and that's why they were outscored. The Raptors were outscored in points in the paint, 52 to 44 in that contest. But at the same time, the Raptors literally shot themselves in the foot because that was about the only thing they could shoot accurately at in game number 1. I mean, they shot 38% from the floor. They were 6 for 29 from three-point land. Lowry and DeRozan, the starting guards, they were a combined, 8 for 30 from the field, right? 22 combined points. Lou Williams, the Sixth Man of the Year award winner, 4 for 16 for 10 points. Now, it is true that John Wall and Bradley Beal were just as pathetic shooting. Matter of fact, does John Wall have a shot? I love, by the way, end of the quarter, end of the game. You saw it last week with the game that went into double overtime in Indiana, if you happen to be watching on TV. The end of the game, what do the Wizards do? They clear it out and they give it to John Wall. If John Wall can't drive to the basket, forget about it. He's a pathetic outside shooter. But anyway, Wall 5 for 18, Bradley Beal 6 for 23. They only combined for 26 points in the opener. This is the last stand for Toronto. I still don't think they can win this series. But at the same time, I don't see Lou Williams shooting 4 for 16. I don't see Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan shooting a combined, 8 for 30. I just think the Raptors have a shooter's chance here in this contest. I know the Wizards are 6-1 in road playoff games the past 2 years, but you also know the Wizards were just a really bad road team this season, and that's what counts most. I still believe that Washington will still be able to control the boards. I'm just banking on the fact that I think Toronto will actually be able to shoot better here tonight. Now, can they cover the 5-point spread? That's, of course, the $64 million question here. I will go with Toronto as the free pick. Can't say I'm in love with the play, but I do think they have a shooter's chance. Listen, the Houston-Dallas game, FYI, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you already see the public jumping on the Rockets, moving this game from 5.5 up to 6.5 points. The Mavericks, really did their best in, game number 1. I mean, they out-rebounded the Rockets 49-44. Tyson Chandler was a beast, 18 rebounds. But Houston had 45 free throw attempts. 45 free throw attempts. Because every time the Rockets would drive the lane, somebody on the Mavericks would whack them. Every time the Rockets got the ball down low, somebody on the Mavericks would whack them. It's amazing how easy that game one win was for Houston, considering that Dwight Howard, who got off to a great start, was really a non-factor because of foul trouble, only played 17 minutes, yet had 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 blocks. But 7 Rockets scored in double figures. And again, it's amazing how well they played, despite the fact that James Harden had 24 points, but he was only 4 for 11 from the field. But then, out of the blue, you have Trevor Ariza, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, right? 3 steals as well. And I mean, just gave Chandler Parsons all type of trouble. Now, Parsons played like 35 or 37 minutes in the opener, still having the knee problems. He is doubtful for tonight. Another big hole for the Mavericks, okay? You got Monta Ellis, who had a miserable game shooting 5 for 16. You had a Mavericks team that committed 17 turnovers. You had one of their key backup guards, Devin Harris, unable to play because of a toe injury and questionable tonight. I just don't see how the Mavericks are able to win this game here this evening. I've got to believe that Harden will shoot better. I must believe also as well that Howard is going to be more effective. I think the Mavericks gave them their best shot in game number 1. I mean, Dirk and Chandler had big games. So even if you say Monta Ellis has a better game here tonight, well, aren't you also having to go ahead and consider the fact that Harden and Howard are going to have better games as well? So I would go ahead and lay the 6.5 points here with Houston because I just don't think the Mavericks have any chance in this particular contest. Your final selection here. Oh boy, this is going to be a tough one, but I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to go with Washington and Gio Gonzalez at home minus $1.15 over St. Louis and Lance Lynn. Now, Gonzalez has a 1.17 earned run average in 3 career starts against the Cardinals. He has not pitched well this season, though. He did win at Boston on Wednesday, 6 hits, 5 runs, and 6 innings after losing to Philadelphia in his season debut. 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, and walking 4 batters. But both of those games were on the road, and he is playing at home. The Nationals are certainly playing a little better, but then again, the Cardinals are playing very strong ball right now. Their pitching has been outstanding. Lance Lynn, a 1.64 earned run average in his first 2 starts, a 2.06 ERA in his last 18 starts dating back to the 4th of July last season. He won both of his starts last year against the Nationals, giving up just 1 run in 13 2/3 innings. And the Cardinals have won 4 in a row and 11 of the last 13 meetings in this series. With all that being said, however, I like the Nationals to win this game. They've won 4 of their last 5. And I just think this is going to be one of those 4-3, 3-2 games. And I think the Nationals are going to be able to squeak off with the victory. So that's going to be your final play. I wish you well, guys. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this again.